time for another guilty pleasure treasure and to peruse through my library of films and TV shows and see which of these I get kind of just a little bit of glee and joy from that I know I really shouldn't because they might be what some consider to be lame. And I can't think of a better candidate for this third episode than some Arnold Schwarzenegger action cheesiness. I am of course talking about the mid-90s action thriller shoot 'em up Eraser. I know this kind of got mixed reviews upon its initial release, and I know it doesn't really rise to a lot of people's top 10 Arnold lists, perhaps, but I really enjoy Eraser for what it is. Yeah, it's a very flimsy excuse to get Arnold to shoot a bunch of people up, but when he does, it's glorious, and it is inventive with its action, I'm gonna give it that. All your stereotypical Arnold tropes are well in play here, perhaps at their most basic level. You've got the stereotypical former mentor goes bad trope going on in there. You've got a damsel in distress trope, definitely, that a lot of movies like The Bodyguard and other fare were kind of overselling a lot during this time in the 90s. But I'm going to give the movie this. Vanessa Williams is at least very engaging and, you know, participates in saving her own neck from time to time. But what seals the deal for me on this being a guilty pleasure is by far the action. It's very dated, it's very over the top, but that's what seals the deal for me in an Arnold film. And I feel it's very well balanced in this particular outing. From him skydiving out of a plane, catching up with his parachute, fastening on said parachute, and then shooting out a plane while in a parachute. That's kind of inventive. Yeah, you're distracted at times by some pretty bad CGI, alligators, but it's all worth it to hear Arnold give his trademark one-liners such as, "Your luggage." And the supporting cast, even though they shouldn't have to be trying this hard, are. James Cromwell makes the most of his 5 minutes of screen time. James Caan, even though I knew going in right away that he was gonna be one of the big bads, I still enjoyed, and I found it very ironic that he participated in a toll booth shoot-up. And I gotta say, I love those guns that seek out anybody wherever they are with X-ray vision. That's kind of fun. Imagine if there was a video game based around this premise of this guy who's supposed to be not only saving people in witness protection, but essentially erasing them from existence in order to keep them safe permanently. And he had to dodge all those X-ray guns and fight alligators and everything like that. It would be kind of great. But for as batshit as the action scenes can go, this is actually a very, very down-to-earth Arnold role. And he is very likable in the role. He doesn't go for too much comedy. Is it as career-defining as something like Conan or The Terminator? Probably not. Does it go for broke in the cheese factor as much as something like Commando? Nah, not really. But it still has fun with its premise, and the horribly dated 90s-ness of it is still enjoyable. So if you haven't seen Eraser, I'd say it's well worth a watch. This is Arnold at the pinnacle of his Arnoldness, and that's not something to pass up.